Hey guys, and thanks for joining us. It is Shark season, and this is our NHL Shark special. We're talking about players, we're talking about sharks. It's going to be a great day. Thank you guys for joining us here at I-80 Sports. It's hard not to get pumped for Shark Weeks after an intro like that now.
Heck yeah.
Let's
Hell
welcome back Tom and Brian. They're our new NHL channel. Today, we're not talking about the NHL playoffs, which are on TV currently. We're talking about individual players that stand out, and we're talking about sharks. So here's how it's going to go. I'm going to talk about a shark, give a little background on the shark, what are its characteristics, what makes this shark unique, and you guys tell us our closest player comparison. You guys ready to go?
Ready to go.
Let's go.
Let's start today with the Mako Shark. The shorefin Mako lives in open ocean and can grow up to 12 feet long. This shark is known as the fastest shark in the ocean, regularly reaching speeds of 35 miles per hour and topping out at up to 45 miles per hour. Here we're looking for the speedster. Who's your favorite speedy shark? Tom, let's throw over to you first.
Okay, I'm going to go way off the radar with this one. Now, initially, I had some guys in mind, but I was sitting there watching Arizona and Nashville on Sunday afternoon, and I can't believe I had forgotten about this guy, but one guy who really does come to mind is Michael Grabman. When he's in a shorthanded situation or an empty net situation, the way he pounces on a loose puck and can just fly up the ice and score is amazing. And he still has it. He's a little older now, but when he was in New York with the Rangers, he was a key catalyst on the penalty kill and on the third line. You could always, he was like that one guy you had to worry about. If you had open ice and he was out there, you had to worry about loose pucks because he would pounce right on those pucks and he would just go and he would put the puck in the net. Once he got some speed, he was gone.
Absolutely. Before we throw over to Brian, I actually forgot that NHL, obviously there is a team named the Sharks. We're not talking about those Sharks. We're talking about like the Discovery Channel Shark Week kind of thing. Thank you for representing. Let me get the little banner down. Yeah, we could see that in its full glory there. So Mako Shark, Brian, let's toss over to you.
So I had to go with the easy choice here because a lot of people think when they think speed in the NHL in today's game, they immediately think of Connor McDavid, who plays for the Edmonton Oilers. Not many players have a 200-foot game like he does, and with his elite speed, it helps him rack up points season in and season out. He constantly racks up points like it's his job, and it all has to do with his 200-foot game. And he also wins competitions in the All-Star games for his speed.
Absolutely. One of the things I kind of saw when I was watching NHL again, and the people who watch this channel regularly know I'm a football guy first, soccer guy second, but in my 5 to 7 years away from the sport, man, it's really gotten faster. I guess the elimination of the two-line pass a decade and a half ago now is helping that, but just watching just from 5 years ago, it's like night and day. So these Mako Sharks, those are two picks. Let's head over to the bull shark. Bull sharks are large, aggressive sharks. They live in fresh, salt, and brackish waters, so that they can live anywhere. They can live in a lake, in a pond, in a stream, in a river. These guys really go anywhere. They are responsible for a majority of the shark attacks around the world because of the diverse environments they live in. For here, we're actually going to play on the name. We're looking for a bull market shark, or a shark who its stock is going up. So what players, maybe you don't know of them right now, but you're going to know about them in the future. We're looking for bull market sharks. Let's throw over to Brian first on this one.
So this one was tough because at first I was thinking of a future scoring machine or somebody that we're really going to be talking about as a particular specialty, but I wanted to wait a little bit until another category for that. So I kind of went out of left field. Tom went out of left field before. I'm going to come out of left field here. And this is a guy who particularly has really gotten popular this year a lot more, especially with his encounters with Calgary's Matt Tkachuk. I'm talking about Zach Kassian, who also plays for the Edmonton Oilers. Is he on the wrong side of his career? Sure, he's not getting any younger. But that hasn't stopped his rise in popularity among not only the diehard fans in Edmonton, but fans all around the NHL. Not only can he score some nice goal, but he also finishes every hit he delivers. If you ever have time on your hands, go and watch a hit compilation by him. You'll never get bored of watching that. He's one of the hardest hitters in the league, and he is never afraid to drop the gloves with anybody who challenges him. Everyone is at high alert when he touches the ice. Plus, we talked about the bull shark living in different waters and all waters. He can live on the top line. He can live in your bottom six. He's going to thrive either way.
Awesome. Great pick. That is Matt Cassian from what
Zach,
team?
Zach Cassian.
Zach Cassian from
Edmonton Oilers.
Edmonton Oilers. Okay, and we're going to toss over now to Tom with his bull market shark pick.
Okay, now there were actually two players who came to mind here, but they're kind of obvious choices. Now, I thought about Nathan McKinnon. I thought about Leon Draisaitl because both of them have had amazing years. They're both up for the Hart Trophy. But if you go and look back at their stats from the previous years, they were kind of trending upward. You could kind of tell as their stats went on in the past few seasons that these guys were trending upward. These guys were definitely going to be something. Now, this pick might sound a little homerish here, but I got to go with Mika Zibanejad. He has shown himself this year to be a point-per-game center. He reached career highs in goals, in points. And if he would have been healthy all 82 games this year and we didn't have COVID / the season, he probably would have potted about 60 goals. He may have been in the conversation for the Rocket. I don't know about that. I mean, it really all depends what would have happened with other players. But I got to go with him. I think he really is the obvious choice. I mean, before this season, he potted 30 last year. But, before that, he was maybe a 25-goal guy. And then in Ottawa, he was kind of an afterthought. But, now he's literally at a point-per-game pace and was at a 60-goal pace. Hopefully he can keep it up. But, this year, even the NHL Network had him at number 9 in their top centers in the NHL list. That guy's stock has risen drastically in the past year.
Absolutely. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks, Tom. Now we're going to move on to our great white shark. Now this is the one you know about. This is as Hollywood as it gets. Great white sharks are the biggest and deadliest apex predators in the ocean. They hunt by waiting around for their prey, circling underneath and waiting for the time to strike. For this category, I'm looking for a shark who's lurking, waiting for an opportunity, and will take advantage when the time is right. Maybe someone buried a little bit on the depth chart now, but when they make themselves known, they're going to be a household name. So that's what I'm looking for here for my great white shark pick. Let's go over to Tom first.
Okay, I'm gonna go a little off the deep end here as well. It's funny term, I guess you'd say. I'm gonna go with a gentleman who had a great game on Saturday, but beforehand was turning heads too. I'm gonna go with Dominik Kubalik over in Chicago. This is actually his rookie year. He was drafted, I believe, in the 7th round by LA. LA sort of gave up on him. Chicago picked him up last year, and he's from the Czech Republic. He was bouncing around Europe the last couple of seasons, but this year in Chicago, he potted 30 goals, and then his reward was that game on Saturday against Edmonton was put on the top line with Jonathan Toews. I believe he had 2 goals, 2 assists, if I'm not mistaken. I know he potted 2, but that's a guy who has come out of nowhere and just was lurking. No one knew about him. He was scoring some goals in Europe, but now all of a sudden this year, on the 3rd line in Chicago, not a great team anymore. Maybe that'll change after this experience. But to pot 30 goals and to have the game that he had on Saturday, I think he's an obvious answer on my end.
Great, good stuff. Let's head over to Brian. Brian, who is your great white shark pick?
So here's a name people are going to be talking about in the next few years since he's been traded to Tampa Bay. Blake Coleman. Coleman was one of the New Jersey Devils' leading scorers for the past 2 seasons, reaching 20-plus goals in each of those seasons. Now, he was a bit of a late bloomer. He came up at the age of 25, 26, so he didn't come up young. It took him a little while to burn through the minors, burn through juniors, and really earn his spot. But since he earned his spot with the Devils, he has been just getting better and better and better each and every year. He's slowly turning into one of the best penalty killers in the entire league. Whatever you do, don't let this guy touch a puck or give him an inch, or he will eat power play minutes away. He may even make your goalie look silly. Look up some highlights at some point of some of his one-handed goals. Pretty impressive stuff.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Now, our last shark for today is the hammerhead shark, probably one of the most noticeable in the ocean. Hammerhead sharks are great hunters, and they are known for their unusual head shape, which allows them to actually sense and locate food. They have special sensory organs in their little hammer, So here we are looking for a great shark who has characteristics maybe unusual to the position that make them great. So the unusual shark, the hammerhead, still is deadly, but looks a little funny. So Brian, I see you smiling. What is your pick here for the hammerhead shark?
So for this category, I'm going with a newcomer in the league. I'm going to go with Colorado Avalanche rookie Cale Makar. It's been a long time since I've seen a defenseman dangle like he can, especially since defensemen don't usually show off their mitts. They usually don't show off how good their hands are. It's mesmerizing to watch his hands go in the offensive zone, and it's paid dividends as well. He's a finalist for the Calder Trophy this year, which is awarded to the league's Rookie of the Year, and he is a fantastic defender, fantastic offensively, and it's just unusual to see a guy that good offensively as a defenseman.
Really good stuff. So that's our hammerhead shark, Cale Makar from Colorado. Let's toss over to Tom. Tom, who is your unusual hockey player?
Well, we seem to be going in a pattern today. When one of us goes off the track, the other one has an obvious answer, and mine is going to be obvious. I'm going to go with Brad Marchand over in Boston. Now, we know that a pest can be small. You've had small pests before. You had guys like Sean Avery, and you had guys like Theo Fleury. I mean, I don't think Fleury was a pest. Fleury had pest characteristics, but he wasn't known for being a pest. The guy was a legit first liner and was a great player. But the thing about Marchand is that, yeah, being a pest is his greatest attribute, but he's a small guy. But small pests normally don't score between 40 goals and 100 points. Now, if you look back into the 80s, okay, you had a pest Esatikin and playing with Wayne Gretzky and Yari Curry in Edmonton. His job was more or less just to keep the attention towards himself and away from Wayne Gretzky and Yari Curry. You know, you also had Claude Lemieux. I'm sure you guys love him. When he was in Colorado, he was playing along with Peter Forsberg and Valerie Kamensky. It was the same thing. He was sort of out there with them to keep the attention to him so they can go and do their job. Now, Marchand is on the first line in Boston as well. He's playing with Pasternak, playing with Bergeron. But what Marchand is doing is something that a first-line pest I've never seen before. He's averaging, about 85 points a year. He's scoring close to 40 goals a year. And that's just not something I've ever seen from a pest who's from the first line to take attention away from superstars. Well, I mean, there's people who hate him, but a guy who's a pest can draw attention away, can draw the other team's error, and can score 40 goals and 100 points a year. Never seen that before. And I would kill, if I was an NHL GM, I would kill to have something like that on my team.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. That is Hammerhead Sharks. And again, just guys that maybe have unnatural characteristics for the position. Guys, that's Shark Week. Welcome to our first Shark Week NHL episode, something we kind of do every year on the show. For you guys at home watching, we hope you enjoyed it. If you like what we're doing here, check out our NFL, our college football, our MLS soccer, and our hockey channel. We have new content coming out every week, including special weeks like this. So, Tom, Brian, thank you for joining us, and everyone at home, thanks for watching IED Sports.